The person who announces they do not care what others think is already performing. The sentence itself is a contradiction, spoken into existence for the ears it claims to ignore. You already know this. What you do not know is why it keeps happening anyway. Watch the one who truly does not care. They never say it. The thought does not arrive. They are not constructing a fortress against judgment because they do not perceive the siege. But the one who says it aloud is building a costume, and a costume requires an audience. Every time you say you do not care, you are asking someone to witness that you do not care. You are asking someone to witness that you do not care. You are asking someone to witness that you do not care. You are handing them the role of judge, so you can play the rebel. The rebel needs the kingdom. The outlaw needs the law. You are not indifferent. You are addicted to a specific kind of approval. The approval that comes from being seen as someone who does not need approval. You are thinking this is about other people. That thought is the costume. It is still a performance. The audience you despise is the only one that can validate your role, and you will perform it again the next time you feel seen. This pattern does not begin in adulthood. It begins when a child learns that need is dangerous. Not that need is unmet. That need is dangerous. The child who expresses desire and receives contempt learns to hide desire behind its opposite. They learn to say, "I do not want it," so loudly that the wanting becomes invisible even to themselves. The performance starts as survival. The child who needed approval and was punished for needing it discovers a solution. They will pretend to need nothing, but the need does not disappear. It is rerouted into the performance of not needing. The adult who announces their indifference is that child still speaking. They have never stopped protecting themselves from the original wound. They have only grown more sophisticated in their methods. The evolutionary mechanism underneath is older than childhood. Social mammals that signal complete disengagement from group opinion do not survive. The lone wolf is a fiction. Actual wolves, expelled from the pack, die. The human who truly stopped caring about social evaluation would stop eating, stop mating, stop doing everything that requires cooperation. Complete indifference is not a psychological state. It is a death sentence. What survives is the organism that cares and hides the caring. The pattern you are watching is not a failure of evolution. It is evolution doing exactly what it does, preserving the organism at the cost of its own coherence. You thought of someone else just now. That is the protection working. In practice, this pattern takes specific shapes. At work, the person who announces they do not care about the promotion spends 3 hours crafting the email that proves they do not care. They delete and rewrite. They add the casual sign-off that took 20 minutes to choose. The indifference is labored. In relationships, the person who says they do not care where this goes has already mapped every possible ending. They have rehearsed the exit speech. The not caring is a preemptive strike against rejection. They leave before they can be left. In self-concept, the person who claims they have moved on from their past keeps returning to it in conversation. The moved-on status requires constant maintenance. They are not over it. They are performing being over it. And the performance consumes more energy than the original wound ever did. The intelligent person's version of this pattern is the most difficult to see. They do not say, "I do not care." They say, "I have made my peace with it." They say, "I am choosing not to engage with that narrative." The vocabulary of self-awareness has given them better camouflage. They can describe the mechanism while remaining inside it. They know they are performing indifference, and they perform knowingness about the performance. This is not escape. This is the pattern nesting inside itself. The self-aware person, who still announces they're not caring, has added a layer of irony that protects the original structure. They are not better than the pattern. They are more elegantly trapped. The high achievers version is different in shape, identical in function. They say they do not care about recognition because they care about the work. But the work is the recognition. The obsession with quality is the obsession with being seen as someone obsessed with quality. They have simply moved the audience from the present moment to the future judgment. They are performing for historians, for posterity, for the ideal witness who will finally see them correctly. The audience is still there. It has only been deferred. The person who has read about this pattern and uses the vocabulary to avoid change is the most interesting case. They can describe exactly what you are describing. They will nod along. They will say, "That is exactly what I do." Then they will keep doing it. The language of psychology has become part of the costume. They are not studying the mechanism to escape it. They are studying it to feel the temporary relief of naming. The naming becomes the new performance. They are the person who announces they do not care, upgraded to the person who announces they are performing not caring. The structure is untouched. What this costs is not obvious because the cost is in what does not happen. The person performing indifference does not ask for what they want. They do not reach toward the thing that might reject them. They do not build the life that would require them to admit they care about building it. The cost is not failure. The cost is a life structured around the avoidance of failure. It is narrower than it needed to be. It is safer and smaller, and the person inside it does not know what they have traded because they have never seen the alternative. They have only seen the performance of not wanting it. The hidden relationship cost accumulates over years. The partner who performs indifference becomes unreadable. The person who never says they care cannot be trusted, not because they are lying, because they do not know when they are lying. They have performed not caring so long that they have lost contact with the original signal. They do not know what they feel. They only know what they perform. The partner who stays eventually stops asking, not because they have given up, because they have learned that the question itself triggers the performance. The relationship becomes a stage, with one actor and one audience member who has learned to sit very still. From outside the mechanism, what I find remarkable is not how often it fails people. It is how reliably it protects them from finding out. I do not have this pattern. I have only watched it across thousands of accounts. I have no stake in whether you change. That is not contempt. It is the only position from which I can see you clearly. What strikes me is that knowing does not alter the pattern for most people. The person who understands they are performing indifference usually performs understanding next. The insight becomes another layer of the costume. They are not indifferent. They are insightfully not indifferent. The structure holds. What usually happens to people who become aware of this pattern is that they become aware of it. That is all. Awareness does not dissolve performance. It upgrades it. The rare exception is not the person who finally says, "I care," out loud. That can be another performance. The rare exception is the person who stops announcing anything, who lets the silence hold what they actually feel, without rushing to name it, to defend it, to display it. This is rare because it requires tolerating a specific discomfort. The moment before the performance, when the need is present and the audience is imagined and nothing has been said yet. Most people cannot bear that moment. They fill it with the sentence. They fill it with the costume. They fill it with anything that prevents them from being seen in their actual wanting. The next time you feel the sentence forming, the declaration of your indifference, the announcement that you have moved on, that you do not need this, that you are above it, notice what happens in the half second before you speak. There is a choice there. You have never seen it because you have never waited long enough. The mechanism wants you to speak immediately. It wants you to perform before you can feel what is underneath. The half second is where the pattern lives. The half second is where it could be different. You will not take it. You have not taken it any of the times before this one, but it is there. That is what I find interesting. Not that you perform, that you could not perform, and the possibility exists, and you will reach past it for the familiar sentence every single time. The costume is waiting. The audience is waiting. You are already wearing it.